That's another nation constantly on the brink, North Korea. Their Supreme Leader Kim Jong-un has issued a diktat. He has asked the country to quote-unquote accelerate war preparations. Again. The announcement came during North Korea's annual review. The Hermit Kingdom's leadership is looking back on all the work done in the past year. They're holding meetings to plan next year's budget and agenda. And this meeting is where Kim issued the war readiness order. He says the preparation is necessary because, and I'm quoting, because of unprecedented confrontational moves by the US. So he's citing American provocation for this military buildup. Here's our report.
It's a busy week in Pyongyang for the North Korean government. Senior leaders are pulling up in their Mercedes-Benz limousines. The cars are technically banned in North Korea because of sanctions imposed on luxury goods, but it seems they're easily available to the top North Korean officials. All these senior Workers' Party of Korea leaders are gathering in the capital for a year-end review. Every year, there's a plenary meeting of the party's central committee. This year is no different. The senior leadership has gathered to present their reports. And of course, praise the visionary policies of their supreme leader, Kim Jong-un. Look at their reactions when the man of the moment arrived. The excitement and the devotion. Kim had to wave to them and tell them to settle down. Like a rock star asking the audience to be quiet and let the show begin. And much like a famed rock star, Kim was sure to play his greatest hits. He issued the diktat they'd all come to hear. Accelerate war preparations. Yes, like every year, Kim made sure to call for more military readiness. And the crowd went wild. Another standing ovation. There was non-stop cheering in the bright red party hall and also over at North Korean state media stations. Kim had given the word. North Korea would fight back. Against whom? The US, apparently. And by extension, American allies in the Far East. Kim's war preparation order was issued to 3 entities: the North Korean military, the country's military-industrial complex, and of course, the nuclear weapons sector. Pyongyang has been making big strides on that third front. Last week, the country had test-launched a new intercontinental ballistic missile, the Hwasong-18. The nuclear-capable missile can reach any corner of the US. That's what Japan and South Korea are saying. The 2 American allies have been quite worried since last week's launch. South Korea has even begun military drills, just in case Pyongyang decides to go for a surprise attack. Kim Jong-un didn't seem too concerned about his southern neighbor yesterday. His eye is on the big prize, the overbearing Uncle Sam. Kim plans to work with like-minded allies to counter Washington. He said he would expand strategic cooperation with anti-imperialist independent countries. Most likely, that means Russia. Kim met with Russian President Vladimir Putin earlier this year. He's been accused of selling weapons to Moscow for use in the Ukraine war. So expanding that relationship is a logical next step. According to reports, that will also help with North Korea's luxury car smuggling. Clearly something that's important to the ruling party. Kim's cheering officials do seem to like their Mercedes Maybachs. Maybe those were discussed during the meeting as well? It was, after all, about Pyongyang's plans for 2024. North Korean media just shared a jingoistic snippet of the whole affair. More policies were certainly announced, but we'll have to wait for a few more days for those details. Hermit Kingdom usually televises Kim's grand speech every New Year's Day. This little speech was just a teaser. There's a lot more to come.
I'm gonna stop that there, man. I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakaha, Kodash, double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS. Shalom to the hopeful elect preaching his word in truth and sincerity. And to you ribs, to you sisters out there learning silence and staying in order. Did you see the faces on these people? I mean, the women. Like, this guy is the ultimate dictator, right? Flosses his guns and his weapons. And, you know, Babylon does nothing. He just lets this man do whatever he wants. This guy does threat after threat. This year, you know, he's saying that he's getting prepping for war. He's been prepping for war for 10 years, but this time is more likely than not because of what's going on around him. You see, it's a lot of puzzles being moved, man. And that dude Kim Young has a itchy trigger finger, as they call it. So, you know, he's been dying to press that button. You know, he still holds a grudge from the Korean War. You know, the history that goes behind it, his father's was involved or whatnot. You know, they reverence this man as a god there in that country because they got no choice, or be killed or starved. They are prisoners to that state. I mean, you could just tell by the way the women were just screaming.
New Year's Day, bit of the whole affair. New Year's Day. This little speech was just a teaser. There's a lot
you
more
could
to
tell
come.
how much of a grasp that man has over the people. But besides the point, there's going to be nations like this that are insignificant, that are going to feel like, you know, they could take on the bully, which is AKA Babylon, America. You know, so it's like their story of Goliath and David and Goliath, right? Where everybody was afraid to go against Goliath, you know, but David had Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua on his side, and he had faith, you see, and that's how these nations are feeling. They feel like they have faith that they could take on this Goliath. This is Joel 3:10. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say I am strong. And that's what you see going on right now, man. North Korea is divided into two, southern and northern, and the U.S. has the south. China has the north as an ally, right? So the weapons they got nowadays, I mean, they wouldn't nuke each other because they would just affect themselves, you know? But when all hell breaks loose, you know, borders are going to be erased, and it's going to be chaos. Man, I can't wait till this place is done, man. Everybody's tired of this place. You know, we're just patiently waiting. This is Matthews 24:6, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places, and all these are the beginning of sorrows. All right, but this is not the time yet. You know, there's still some prophecies to come about this, right? But we just continually watching and praying, right? Matthew 26:41, watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. Right, we're continuously watching. We're continuously praying for the mercies and to have the Lord's Spirit dwell with us and not to remove the Holy Spirit from us, right? Because we're going to need it in the time of Jacob's trouble, right? Where wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of our times, as it pertains to the book of Isaiah, right? We have to watch what's around us, man. But we are not to be troubled by it. But we are to pray, man, because we need protection, right? We accept what comes to us, but we don't want to provoke the Lord, right? It says the spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak, right? And with that, I'm gonna say shalom.